know it's really annoying when there's speeches. I hate them. I usually try to leave before they start. So I'm glad there's people still here. Wow. Okay. So whoever's left is going to have to bear with me. It's not going to be that long, I don't think. So first of all, I actually really want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. It's a huge blizzard out there, the blizzard of the century of 2010. I don't know, this is like unbelievable amount of snow. And I really, really appreciate every single person on behalf of Leah, myself, everyone that made the trek out here, or however you came. I have no idea if it was on skis or someone pulled you on a sled, or I did see people on skis outside. But this certainly wasn't our plan. We didn't have this in mind, but as a good friend of mine, Frank Storch, wherever he is, always say, plans are man's, but odds are God's. So I want to first of all explain the names. The names we used were Yaakov and Chaim, and the main name we chose was the name Yaakov. About 10 months ago, my wife's grandfather, Yaakov Muller, or Upa as he was known, was nifter, and we wanted to name our son after him. From what I knew of Upa, he was always on time. That's something I aspire to. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but certainly I'd like to put my son in the right direction. We're definitely not on time for the Bris, but hopefully we'll get him going after this. The snow made it a little harder. I was working on it. He always took davening very seriously, and he always made sure to go to shul no matter how hard it was. And learning Torah was very important to him. I know that Uncle Sammy, I think, used to make some things he would listen to. Even when it was hard for him to go to shiurim, he was like listening to different things, always trying to keep himself in learning. And that was something that he really, really cared about. And he was involved very much in the community. He was very well respected. He was from the community of Washington Heights, for those of you who don't know. And he was considered a chaver in the community, and he was extremely well respected there from the beginning when he was there. And it was something that was very important to him. He used to make vimples, which are like these little long things that you give to kids when they're born. And that was something that was, I think my mother-in-law told me that even when everything else prices went up, he always made sure to charge the same amount for it. And it was very important for us to give our son his name and to continue his legacy. The reason we chose the name Chaim, it's a very interesting story. We chose the name, we were trying to think of another name that would show our appreciation to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving us more life into the world, for allowing us to bring children into the world. And we named our daughter Ahuva Bracha. We named the name Bracha because we felt very blessed, but we also wanted to give our son something also similar to remind us always of the Bracha that we have. And the name Chaim, we thought of, bringing life into the world. Chaim. Now it turns out this is very strange, but my grandmother has a first cousin that passed away about 2 weeks or so after our children were born, with the name Chaim, who she was very close with. And she was very moved, actually. She was on the phone with me telling me about it. And I asked her Shaila, because I didn't know. I was talking to a couple of my neighbors, Eliezer, about whether it makes sense to, or if I'm allowed to name my son who was born before Chaim Steinberg passed away, if I could even name him, because he came into the world beforehand. So my Rav, I think he might have looked it up in the Zohar maybe or something, I don't know, said that it's fine, and he said it was no problem, and we continued to name our son Chaim, actually in memory of Chaim Steinberg, who passed away. On the note of Chaim, I'm really close to that. I'm sorry, I know this is taking a long time, but I was reading a book my father recently got for my 30th birthday, a book called Solomon Says. I don't know if any of you guys saw it at the store. It's by Rabbi Yaakov Solomon. If you didn't see it, or you should really pick it up. It's a great book. It's got a lot of very, very interesting stories in it that actually are very inspiring. Rabbi Solomon writes over there a little story about an alien I don't remember the name, I'm paraphrasing the story, but his name is Zion, comes into the world, and he's got this super duper time traveling device, and he could go anywhere in time, and he's there with you, and you're looking at him, and he's going, hey, let's go to see some amazing things that happened in all of history. So you get inside, and you go back at the time to the splitting of the sea, Kriyas Yamsuf, and you're looking, and wow, it's going up, and the water's going up, and the people, it's dry land in the middle, and everyone's walking, and they can't believe it. And this alien's like, oh my gosh, that's nothing. We do that every day back in Zionia. I mean, that's really no big deal. So they say, okay, all right, you take him to Matan Torah, and the Torah's being given, and there's all this lightning, and God speaks, and he's like, we do that every day back in Zionia. There's nothing special going on over here. We got all this sort of crazy stuff going on. So then you don't know what to do. You fast forward and back into your time. Somehow you end up, you're in Sinai Hospital in the living room, and he's looking, and he can't believe a baby's being born. From a human being, another human being is coming out, and he's blown away, and there's smoke coming out of his ears, and he can't believe it. He's never seen anything like that. They don't know how to create these types of things. How do you make another person come out of another human being? It's unreal. He can't believe it. He's blown away. And you're thinking, wow, this happens every day. I mean, what this guy's malfunctioning, and this is like such a normal thing that happens all the time. So, but the idea is that, we look at things that we think are miracles, and then we forget the Chaim that we have in our lives that's really a miracle. Every day, the fact that someone's able to give birth to a child, I mean, me and Miriam Leah certainly really appreciate it. We're very, very blessed to have children, and it's something that we're really, really happy to be able to do, and it's something that I hope that everyone here in the room is blessed with. And we really wanted to show our appreciation for that, and it's something that I think the only way to get there is to be grateful. And I think when you appreciate and you value the people in your life, and you value, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then you're able to be someone that receives the blessing, the bracha into the world. So, I don't know about you guys, but I've always been working on this. It's not always easy for me to be grateful. It's not always easy to be appreciative. My father, whenever I ask him the question, how are you, his answer is grateful. And that's one way to work on it, and that's something that I'm trying to do myself. But this whole time, when I was talking to my Rabbi Berger, about different things that I could work on, to grow, he mentioned 2 brachas that he thought I should work on. It's very interesting, the themes between these, and it was different things going on in my life. He mentioned the first bracha of benching, and he mentioned modim. Interesting. Those are both things that you're really appreciating God, and you're also appreciating and thanking God. What is modim? What does the word mean? It means hodah. It means admitting that you realize that everything is coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why we're called Yehudim. That's really what it's all about. And I, even in this week's Parsha, I was looking up in the Sforno, by the way, for Parshas Yisro. And it says over there that Yisro, when he came, Moshe said something, Vayetze, he was appreciating Yisro. I don't remember the exact pasuk there. And he said over there, the Sforno says that when it was hard for Moshe, when he was out getting the sheep in the water, and he didn't have a place to go, and Yisro took him in, of course he's going to thank him. But it's a real tzaddik who, when the times are finally good, when things are going well, that is the real tzaddik that comes out and still shows appreciation. Now Moshe is the big dude, and Yisro, who's this guy who's the newcomer, he's coming out and still saying, thank you very much, you're the man. That's important. By Yosef, when the wine guy came out of jail, he forgot all about Yosef. Now things are better, he forgot completely about Yosef. But by Mordechai and Esther, when she continued doing everything, if you look at the end of the Megillah, she continued doing everything that Mordechai told her to do, even after when the trouble was gone, everything was gone, she did what she was supposed to. So that's why at this time, I would like to personally thank a few people that have been extremely helpful. For those of you who don't know, I think I pretty much told everyone, I'm not like some people like keep everything in. My wife didn't have the easiest pregnancy, and it was a lot of challenges. There was a lot of bed rest, about 3 months of it. There was we were in the hospital a lot. It was definitely not easy, and I need to show a lot of the Hakaras for everything that she went through, and really, really, really. If not for her, we certainly would not.